Season 25 has finally brought us a brand new legend after a year of waiting, along with a few other key changes, and I'm here to break down which legends are the best and worst to use in this season of Apex Legends. No fluff, no filler, let's get straight into it. Up first is Bangalore. Bangalore still got that solid soldier consistency, but in Season 25, she's just not breaking the meta. Her smokes are great for cover and repositions, and that double time passive is still clutch for dodging bullets. It's crazy how a couple nerfs and buffs can shake up the meta, especially with a legend that's still pretty strong like Bangalore. I have her in B tier, and she's still incredibly viable, but you could argue she's an A still. She's still really good. Up next, we have Fuse. Fuse is the king of chaos and area denial, and in Season 25, his knuckle clusters are great for poking, breaking doors, and disrupting revives or heals, while his passive lets him rain down grenades like a one-man artillery unit. The Motherload ult can trap teams and create strong zone control, but it still struggles in open field fights or against mobile legends who can escape easily. He's strong in coordinated teams that play for zone or denial, just not quite versatile enough to break into S tier. I have him in A tier. Ashe is still absolutely thriving in Season 25. Her arc snare gives her reliable poke and control, and her phase breach ult is one of the best engage and disengage tools in the game right now. Fast, low cooldown, and high skill ceiling. She fits perfectly into the aggressive meta, letting teams collapse on weak targets or instantly reposition when things go south. Add her passive for easy dash, Titanfall-like movement, and she's basically a kill-hungry IGL's dream. In the right hands, Ashe is oppressive, fast, lethal, and always one step ahead. S tier movement, and it helps that her snare tactical traps you all while hitting for 20 damage. She's an absolute pain to deal with. S tier. Mad Maggie stays in that sweet spot of chaotic utility, always annoying, occasionally devastating. Her riot drill is great for flushing out campers behind cover or forcing people off doors, and her Warlord's passive makes shotgun fights her playground. But while she thrives in brawls and close quarters chaos, she falls off in the long-range poke battles or open rotations. Her ult is flashy, but sometimes more style than substance. She's a solid pick for aggressive teams and indoor fights, just not as universally useful as some other assault legends. B tier. Ballistic is an absolute powerhouse in Season 25, the definition of an absolute menace. His weapon sling gives him insane loadout flexibility, and his Whistler tactical is high-key one of the best dueling tools in the game, shutting down enemy weapons in clutch fights. With his perk being able to hold 4 charges of the Whistler tactical, that alone is a reason to give him a slot worthy of being one of the best legends in the game. Or you could choose for your Whistler to overheat and silence. Both are insane options. His ultimate Tempest turns your squad into a walking death squad with infinite ammo, faster reloads, and overclocked movement. In coordinated teams, Ballistic is a game changer, enabling push after push with pure gunplay dominance. Smooth, stylish, and lethal, he's the perfect support fragger hybrid. My biggest tip to everyone is to put the devotion in your sling for when you activate the ultimate. You'll thank me later. S tier, not even close. The OG Movement King is still swinging strong in Season 25. Pathfinder's grapple lets skilled players pull off insane repositioning plays, and his zipline gun gives the whole squad a fast rotation tool. Perfect for third parties, escapes, or high ground retakes. His hitbox is still on the chunkier side, but his mobility more than makes up for it. While not as oppressive as some of the newer meta shakers, Path is incredibly versatile and deadly in the hands of a mechanically skilled player. Not quite S tier, but definitely still a top pick in the right lobbies. A tier. Wraith is still a staple pick for a reason. Her Into the Void tactical gives her one of the best solo escape tools in the game, not to mention they buffed the windup and let you escape from the void at will. Her portal might not be as flashy as some of the newer movement legends in Apex, but in coordinated squads, it's a lifesaver for rotations, clutch revives, or clean third-party setups. She's slippery, smart, and deadly when played right. Not as game-breaking as her early days, but still one of the most reliable and high-skill legends on the roster. Did I mention she can Naruto run again? I mean, she's harder than ever to hit. A tier. Octane's falling way off in Season 25. His stim still gives him that quick burst of speed, but it comes at the cost of his health. And in a meta where coordinated team play and utility wins fights, that selfish mobility just isn't cutting it. His launchpad is predictable, easily countered, and doesn't offer nearly the same value as other movement ults like Ashe's Phase Breach or Horizon's Lift. Great for meme plays, solo queue chaos, and the occasional movement demon. But if you're playing to win, there are just better options across the board. High energy, low impact. F tier. Don't hate me. Octane's still fun to play. He's just not that great right now. Buff my boy Octane. Revenant Reborn came in hot with his rework, and while he's still a menace in 1v1s, the hype is cooled a bit. His Forged Shadows ultimate gives him great survivability in duels, and that wall climb makes for some nasty flanks. But the Shadow Pounce tactical can be a bit hit or miss, especially against coordinated teams who know how to counter push. He's got big outplay potential, but he's not as consistent in team fights or end zones where utility matters more. Strong solo carry potential, but not always the best team player. Classic Revenant vibes. B tier. Horizon is slowly taking a fall from her S tier grace over the past couple years. Once the queen of vertical plays, her gravity lift is slowly getting power crept by other legends, and it doesn't help with lower TTK. It also doesn't make popping a bat in the lift as lucrative, and especially in higher tier lobbies. Her black hole ultimate can still combo nicely with grenades, but most teams are ready for it and either shoot it out instantly or just bail. She's not useless, she can still make plays, but with so many stronger movement and control options in the meta, Horizon's just not hitting like she used to. Her perks aren't in the slightest bit good as well, so it's really hard to justify her being higher on this list. She's in the awkward, not bad, but not good zone. And I also realize she may be a better pick on console due to limited movement, but on PC, there are so many better ways to be a movement god. C tier. It's actually crazy that I'm putting her in C tier. I love Horizon. Valkyrie's still got her wings, but she's not flying as high as she used to. Her Skyward Dive is still one of the best rotation tools in the game, especially for escaping bad zones or dodging third parties. With the rise of other mobile legends, she's not as dominant in team fights. Her tactical is a decent poke and interruption, but it doesn't hit hard enough to make a huge difference. Great for macro plays and smart rotations, but in straight up brawls, she doesn't bring enough to push into A tier anymore. B tier. You could argue C tier, but I'm going to put her in B tier because her ultimate is still really strong. Alter, in my mind, right now is the best legend in Apex Legends. Her Void Passage is an instant rotation cheat code. Fast, quiet, and nearly impossible to predict when used smartly. Need high ground? Escape a bad fight? Third party without being seen? Alter's caught you. Her ultimate is the most infuriating ultimate I've personally ever gone up against in its current state. It's near impossible to finish a team with an alter because at the slightest sign of being at a disadvantage, they just reset. And even if you knock a member or two, the portal takes too long to activate, and by that time they've already recovered, and you're going through blind. She's like a mix of Wraith and Ashe, but way more flexible and with fewer downsides. S tier, but honestly, SS tier. It's a rough season for Bloodhound. The scam meta that once made them a must pick has officially faded. Their Eye of the Allfather tactical feels outdated, short-lived, and easily countered. And the Beast of the Hunt ult just doesn't have the same pop-off potential it used to have. In a game now dominated by movement, utility, and creative repositioning, Bloodhound's kit feels linear and underwhelming. Still usable, but outclassed at almost every level. The Hunter's instincts are still there, but the prey's not scared anymore. D tier. Crypto's still the thinking player's Recon pick, but in Season 25, that big brain playstyle isn't quite enough to carry. His drone provides amazing intel and can be clutch for banner grabs or EMP pushes, but the fact that he has to sit still to use it means he's often out of the fight when his team needs him the most. His kit rewards coordination and timing, but in the fast-paced meta of today, he feels too slow and too vulnerable. In organized squads, he can shine, but in most lobbies, Crypto's impact is inconsistent. High ceiling, low floor, and just barely clinging to relevance. C tier. Seer went from oppressive menace to practically irrelevant in Season 25. His tactical is slow, easily dodged, and no longer reveals as much critical info as it used to. The Heartbeat passive is more of a distraction than a tool now, and the Exhibit ult, way too easy to destroy and barely worth the throw. With scan blocking changes and faster paced fights dominating the meta, Seer just can't keep up. His playstyle feels clunky, outdated, and countered at every turn. Unless you're trying to relive Season 10 nostalgia, Seer's a hard pass this season. F tier. Vantage in her sniper-focused kit is solid for long-range poking and recon, especially with her passive intel on enemies. But in Season 25's movement-heavy, fast-paced brawls, she just can't keep up. Echo Relocation is an okay escape tool, but it's telegraphed and easy to punish. Her ultimate can 2-tap and slow down pushes from aggressive teams, but using it in a close quarter and nailing it 90% of the time is a luxury most players don't have. If you're playing edge zones or love sniping, she's viable, I guess, but overall, she's outclassed by more impactful recon picks. C tier. You could argue D tier. I put her in C tier. Our newest legend to the Apex game, Sparrow, lands in Season 25 as a high-skill, high-reward recon legend who thrives on mobility and intel. His double jump passive allows for agile repositioning and vertical plays, making him a nightmare to pin down. The Tracker Dart tactical provides persistent enemy tracking, revealing foes who cross its line of sight, and even allowing remote activation of survey beacons. His Stinger Bolt ultimate anchors a charged arrow that emits pulses, damaging and slowing enemies within its radius. Perfect for zoning or disrupting enemy formations. Sparrow's kit rewards players who can think ahead and control the battlefield. While not as plug-and-play as some legends, in the hands of a skilled player, he offers exceptional value in both solo and team scenarios. His unique blends of mobility, reconnaissance, and area control solidifies his spot in the A tier. He's really good, check him out. Big Gibby just isn't built for current Apex meta. His dome and bubble revives used to define endgame fights, but now teams are way too fast and aggressive, and his large hitbox makes him a walking ult battery. The gun shield helps a little, but it's not enough to save him in close range brawls against hyper mobile legends. His defensive bombardment is still decent for zoning, but it's slow, easy to dodge, and often outclassed by other ults. In coordinated ranked or comp lobbies, he can still find a role, but for most players, Gibby just feels like a tank in a speedster's world. D tier. Lifeline is by far the best support legend in Season 25, and I often find myself going crazy anytime I encounter a Lifeline on the other team. Her glider makes her a very solid movement choice for fast engagement and disengagement. Her tap to revive passive is still insane, mixed with her ultimate Doc Hollow, which allows for 360 protection and fast healing. I don't think anyone would mind having a Lifeline on your team, even when you get to the highest ranks of Apex. Unless you're Shiv, of course. A tier. The king of bamboozles is still cooking in Season 25. Mirage's clones might not win you every fight, but in the right hands, they create chaos, and chaos gets kills. His revive invincibility is still one of the most underrated clutch mechanics, especially now that you can res with style mid-fight and reposition without getting insta-beamed. His decoys keep enemies guessing, and good Mirages can bait shots, draw aggro, and turn fights around. He's not meta, he's not broken, but he's slippery, annoying, and low-key effective. Definitely a sleeper pick that thrives in solo queue or with high IQ tricksters. B tier. We love a good Mirage. Loba is still the queen of loot, and in Season 25, she stays solid. Her Black Market is one of the most team-friendly ultimates in the game, letting squads instantly rekit during mid-fight lulls or loot safely from a distance. Her bracelet has gotten better over time, but it's still a bit clunky and predictable. She shines in ranked and support-based team comps, but in high-pressure fights, her lack of raw combat power keeps her from climbing any higher. Great utility, just not a carry. B tier. Newcastle is a fortress with legs in Season 25. His ability to revive while dragging teammates behind a shield is still one of the best life-saving mechanics in the game, and his mobile shield provides quick, on-demand cover during chaotic fights. What really pushes him into A tier, though, is his ultimate, a leap to save the squad moment that doubles as a wall, cover, and fight reset all in one. He brings huge value in coordinated teams, especially in endgame circles. He's not flashy, but he's clutch, and if you're playing as a team, there are a few better anchors than Newcastle. A tier. Conduit brings solid team utility, but in Season 25, she's sitting in the mid-pack zone. Her passive Save Your Speed allows you to sprint faster towards allies that are out of range of your tactical, and her tactical can instantly send shield energy to an ally. Super clutch when repositioning or recovering after a skirmish. Her ultimate energy barricade provides a big burst of temporary cover and overshields, which can help hold or push space, but it's also predictable and easily punished in higher lobbies. She's great in theory and strong in supportive roles, but lacks the aggressive tools or raw fight control to push her into top tier. A decent pick in coordinated teams, but not meta breaking. C tier. Caustic's once terrifying gas has lost its bite in Season 25. His traps are still great for bunkering, holding doors, or punishing overly aggressive pushes, but let's be real, his gas isn't doing any significant damage or making a big enough difference in the fight. With so many legends built around movement, verticality, and quick rotations, Caustic often gets left behind, literally and figuratively. His gas damage is easy to avoid, his utility has become more situational than essential, he can still dominate in final ring scrambles or buildings, but getting there is the hardest part. The Doctor still has some edge, but just not nearly enough. D tier, but honestly you could put him in F tier. The only reason I put him in D tier is I think he's kind of oppressive for newer players and middle of the pack players. He just does not work in any high tier lobby. Watson's still the champion of endgame lockdowns, but in Season 25, getting to the endgame is the real challenge. Her fences and pylons are excellent for holding buildings or choke points, and her ultimate shuts down throwables and regenerates shield, which can be clutch. But outside of those final ring moments, she struggles to keep pace. Her lack of mobility and proactive utility makes her feel sluggish in fast rotating metas, and most fights happen before she can even get set up. She's not bad, she's just very situational. The zone pulls your way, she's golden. If not, she's watching from the death screen with full pylon charge. C tier. Rampart's got the tools, but not always the timing. Her amped cover can absolutely shred if you're set up early, and Sheila still melts when unleashed. In Season 25, movement, tempo, and flexibility rule. Probably getting tired of me saying this, huh? And Rampart's kit takes a little too long to get rolling. She shines in specific zones or endgame positions where teams have to push out through her defenses, but she struggles in open field skirmishes or on the fly rotations. She's not a throw pick by any means, but unless you're playing around her setup potential, you're not tapping into her true value. C tier. Catalyst had her moment in the anti-scan spotlight, but in Season 25, her power has dipped. Her piercing spikes and ferrofluid doors are great for slowing pushes and playing defenses, but the meta has shifted hard towards fast movement, aggressive dives, and quick rotations, not bunker fights. Her Darkveil ultimate can still block vision and split fights, but with more players adapting and pushing through it fearlessly, or simply just waiting it out, it doesn't feel as impactful as it once did. She's still solid in tight zones and rank play, but outside of that, Catalyst feels like more of a situational specialist than a go-to pick. C tier, but I could also see why you'd want to put her in B tier. I was kind of split on this and I really didn't know what to decide, but I'll let you guys pick. And there you have it, guys. My Season 25 ranking of all the legends. I think for the most part, this is pretty spot on, but I can definitely see some legends being argued a tier up or down. Let me know what you guys think below, and I'm sure we'll get a shake up when the mid-season patch eventually goes live. Until then, I will see you next time.